Italian period dramas have a style all their own, rich with history, layered with family intrigue, and often tangled in love, power, and betrayal. While British and American period pieces get most of the attention, Italy has been quietly producing some of the most captivating historical stories on screen. Many of them never make it into the international spotlight, but they deserve to be seen. In today's video, we're uncovering 10 Italian period dramas you've probably never heard of, but once you do, you won't forget them. The Law According to Lidia Poët. Set in the late 19th century, The Law According to Lidia Poët is based on the real-life story of Italy's first female lawyer and her fight to be recognized in a male-dominated legal system. Matilda de Angelis shines as Lidia, a whip-smart, headstrong woman whose wit and style make her both admired and scandalized in Turin's elite circles. When Lidia is barred from practicing law simply because of her gender, she refuses to give in, working behind the scenes to solve cases and challenge the system. The series blends sharp legal drama with rich historical detail, showing both the elegance and the restrictions of the time. It's also laced with mystery, romance, and political intrigue, making it far more than just a courtroom show. With sumptuous period costumes and gripping storytelling, this series is an inspiring portrait of a trailblazer ahead of her time, one who paved the way for generations of women in law. And if you love heroines who fight injustice with flair, Lidia Poët will win your heart instantly. The Lions of Sicily. Adapted from Stefania Auci's best-selling novel, The Lions of Sicily tells the sweeping saga of the Florio, family ambitious merchants who rise from humble beginnings to become one of the most powerful dynasties in 19th century Sicily. Set against the backdrop of political upheaval and social change, the series follows brothers Paolo and Ignazio Florio as they transform their modest spice shop into a thriving empire. But success comes with a price: rivalries, love affairs, betrayals, and the ever-present question of loyalty to family versus personal desire. Visually, it's a feast for the eyes. Grand palazzos, Sicilian coastlines, and lavish period costumes immerse viewers in another era. At its core, this is a drama about ambition and resilience, and how one family's determination reshaped their destiny. With strong performances, emotional depth, and the perfect mix of romance and intrigue, The Lions of Sicily is a must-watch for fans of sprawling family epics like Downton Abbey, but with a distinctly Italian soul. The Decameron. This Netflix adaptation takes inspiration from Giovanni Boccaccio's 14th century classic, but gives it a bold, contemporary twist. Set during the height of the Black Death in Florence, the Decameron follows a group of nobles, servants, and outcasts who take refuge in a villa to escape the plague. What begins as an attempt to preserve civility quickly unravels into a whirlwind of secrets, seductions, and power plays. Expect biting humor, scandalous encounters, and a satirical edge that explores human behavior when survival is at stake. The series blends historical authenticity with modern pacing and wit, making it as addictive as it is atmospheric. Costumes and set designs capture the elegance and decadence of the time, while the script keeps the energy high with intertwining storylines. Beneath the mischief and drama lies a sharp commentary on morality, privilege, and the fragility of order. If you're drawn to period dramas that aren't afraid to get a little mischievous, the Decameron offers a fresh, daring take on one of Italy's literary masterpieces. My Brilliant Friend. Based on Elena Ferrante's acclaimed Neapolitan novels, My Brilliant Friend is a raw, unflinching portrait of female friendship set in post-war Naples. The series follows Elena and Lila, two girls from a poor neighborhood whose lives remain intertwined through decades of love, rivalry, ambition, and hardship. As they navigate adolescence, marriage, and social change, their bond is tested by class differences and personal choices. What sets this series apart is its emotional honesty. It doesn't shy away from the complexities of female relationships, nor from the harsh realities of poverty and gender inequality. The production is meticulous, authentic Neapolitan dialect, 1950s to 60s period detail, and powerful performances create a fully immersive experience. At once intimate and epic, My Brilliant Friend is both a coming-of-age story and a deep exploration of identity, loyalty, and self-worth. For anyone seeking a period drama that's as emotionally rich as it is visually stunning, this series is unmissable. Elisa di Rivombrosa. If you've ever wished Pride and Prejudice had just a bit more sword fighting and political intrigue, Elisa di Rivombrosa is for you. Set in 18th century Piedmont, the series follows Elisa, a young woman of humble origins who falls in love with Count Fabrizio Ristori. Their romance faces endless obstacles from scheming nobles to deadly conspiracies. What makes Elisa so addictive is how effortlessly it blends sweeping romance with edge-of-your-seat drama. You'll find moonlit confessions in manicured gardens, daring rescues, and the constant question of whether love can survive in a world built to keep them apart. With lavish costumes and a cast that radiates chemistry, this series doesn't just tell a love story, it immerses you in a world where every glance can change a life, and every secret could be a matter of survival. La Storia. An adaptation of Elsa Morante's celebrated novel, La Storia is set in Rome during and after World War II, following Ida Raimundo, a widowed schoolteacher whose life is forever altered by violence, loss, and the struggle to protect her young son. The series doesn't just tell Ida's story, it paints a vivid portrait of Rome during one of its darkest periods, where survival meant constant resilience. Jasmine Trinker delivers a deeply moving performance as Ida, capturing both her vulnerability and her quiet strength. The production design is impeccable, bringing wartime Rome to life with haunting realism, bombed streets, cramped apartments, and fleeting moments of joy amid devastation. What makes La Storia so powerful is its humanity. It's a war story, yes, but it's also about motherhood, endurance, and the small acts of kindness that keep hope alive. It's a deeply emotional watch, perfect for those who appreciate historical dramas that place personal stories at the center of sweeping historical events. The Leopard. Netflix's lavish 6-part adaptation of The Leopard takes us to 19th century Sicily, where history and personal fate collide. Don Fabrizio Corbera, the proud prince of Salina, stands at the center of a crumbling aristocracy as Garibaldi's forces sweep the island toward unification. Played with quiet power by Kim Rossi Stewart, the prince witnesses the old order slipping away, even as his own family navigates love, ambition, and survival. From Palermo's glittering ballrooms to the wind-swept terraces of Siracusa and the sun-bleached streets of Catania, the series captures Sicily in all its layered beauty. Every frame feels like a painting, golden light spilling over Baroque facades, but beneath the visual opulence is a story about inevitability, how even the grandest houses must yield to change. Blending romance, politics, and the ache of passing time, The Leopard is both a love letter to Sicily and a meditation on endings and the delicate beginnings that follow. Malèna. Giuseppe Tornatore's Malèna is a coming-of-age tale wrapped in the longing and gossip of a Sicilian village during World War II. Monica Bellucci plays Malèna, a war widow whose beauty becomes both her shield and her curse. Seen through the eyes of a young boy, the film captures the way innocence collides with the harsh realities of adult life. Malèna walks through the narrow streets with quiet dignity, even as whispers follow her every step. The war takes its toll not just on buildings, but on reputations, love, and hope itself. Tornatore crafts a film that's tender, tragic, and filled with moments of aching beauty. By the final scene, you're left with the haunting truth that sometimes the deepest wounds are the ones nobody talks about. Baarìa. Spanning 3 generations in the Sicilian town of Baarìa, Baarìa is a love letter to both family and the land itself. From the 1930s to the 1980s, we follow Peppino and his loved ones through political upheaval, personal dreams, and the rhythms of everyday life. The film blends realism with magical touches, capturing the way memory and history weave together. One moment you're watching children chase each other through sunlit streets, the next, you're witnessing the hard choices of adulthood. Tornatore infuses every frame with affection for Sicily's people, language, and quirks. It's not a drama in the traditional sense, but a cinematic mosaic, a portrait of a place and a time that will feel both deeply specific and strangely familiar, no matter where you're from. Call Me By Your Name. Though set in the 1980s, Call Me By Your Name has the slow, languid feel of a timeless summer romance. In a sunlit villa in northern Italy, 17-year-old Elio meets Oliver, an American student staying with his family. What begins as a cautious friendship blooms into an all-consuming connection filled with stolen glances, shared books, and afternoons by the water. The film captures not just first love, but the bittersweet knowledge that it might not last. Every scene, from the quiet dinners to the dusty bike rides, feels alive with the textures of summer, ripe peaches, warm stone walls, and the hum of cicadas. It's a story about desire, discovery, and the way so.